Okay, my bad. I was recording, but I didn't have the microphone in. So, kind of just went through this. We were looking at maybe a spike in channel type of situation with a one push down, two push down, looking for a third push down, but kind of didn't happen that way. And we've clearly broken out of this channel at this point. So maybe it's a easier way to look at it as um, like a double bottom kind of thing here, maybe, and then pull back, attempting to break out, have a higher low here, and now we're going here. This 5 minute candle, pretty strong, pretty nice close as well. So could definitely see something kind of like this to go up. Maybe as far as this, maybe just as far as, somewhere in this region here. Um, you could put your stop down here underneath the lowest low, or if you want to be really aggressive, you can say this is a low, higher low, even higher low, and then put it underneath this low, or I guess this low, since they're kind of more of a double bottom even here, and then we ended up having this trying to break out, inside bar, small bar, breaks down, but immediately closes above, and now we're seeing strength on this 1 minute time frame. So I might actually be interested in taking a long here. Let's take a look on a higher time frame. This looks good here, right? We have the trying to round off here, and then kind of this inside bar, even though it broke underneath, and then another inside bar, and now we're breaking above that inside bar. So that's usually, might be a little decent for a little push. Alternatively, we could have this kind of situation develop, bear flag, and then further dumping, especially because this is a pretty tight trading range here, right? That we've kind of developed and established. So even like trying to get out of it on this 5 minute time frame here, isn't going to be the easiest task, right? The main reason that we're considering this as a potential long, even though we're clearly in this tight trading range, is just because we're kind of thinking we have this trend line broken, retesting it, and putting in like a higher low, and then again trying to dump below it, putting in another higher low, and now starting to lift off. So realistically, what we would be looking at is a pump here, and it goes. And if it doesn't go from this, for example, if we like literally immediately right now get this kind of action, and then we try again, I wouldn't be inclined to be taking it. I would think it's probably just trading range activity, and especially if we break down here and then maybe go, maybe we could see that with this being a low and then putting in a for real higher low and not considering this low and this low as higher lows. I mean, this candle is just not nice right now at all. Clearly failed here. Kind of have like kind of a wedge-ish kind of thing going here. Not really. Maybe we only really have this wedge kind of concept just because we have this maybe one push up and then maybe a second push up and then it kind of stalled here and then third push up and then we dump here. So I think we're clearly right now though into this trading range. This is an outside down bar, in fact. So I would not be now looking for longs out of here. This is pretty much shown good here on longs for at least a candle or two. Let's see how the subsequent candles react. Because this M15 is still looking possibly decent, but these two dojis, not good signals for a long. And if we, yeah, bears, I would think, are kind of in a situation where they're selling any new low. So if we break below 67.36, probably going to be some bears looking to sell. If we break under 66.73, probably going to be some bears looking to sell. And if that is the case, and here's an even better example of that wedge kind of idea, right? If you look at it on a low time frame, you might not see this kind of wedge really. Like, it's kind of okay. It's not really like Doesn't really look that great of a wedge. It looks more like a horizontal type trading range, but we can kind of see here, oops, we can kind of see here, we had one push up, we had a second push up, we had a third push up, and it's kind of possibly failing now. So that's kind of a signal for bears to maybe come and try and get active. And especially if this bar closes near the low, even if it doesn't go lower than what it was. By the way, did it actually just take a new low from what we were talking about? I don't remember where it was when we were talking. Yeah, 736. So we put in a new low here. 5 more minutes until this candle closes. So if this candle can get underneath here, especially, but as long as it just closes kind of like this near its low with kind of a doji, but kind of like a bearish hammer kind of picture, I think we could definitely see some more selling. Is this a bear sell short signal? Let's consider that. We certainly have this one leg down. Sideways consolidation means pretty likely to be another leg down. I did find it a little bit fishy that we're trying to reverse in this territory, which is almost a no man's land kind of territory. Like maybe you have this line here that was resistance that we're now trying to flip into support. Maybe, but why not this line here where there's a lot more activity? Why not even down here? Like there's so many areas in this that for to do this spike from up here and to just pump from here, I don't really see it as supremely likely, and I don't see it as sustainable. I would think that if we did something like this, that would probably just be validating this region as a trading range. So, and I mean, we still have all of this, remember. So, not super eager to be looking for longs here. Maybe could be taking a short, like if we break down below here, especially if we break down below here, because this is where bulls are. Like if you're a bull, your stop has to be here, right? Let's consider where stops have to be. If you're a bull right now, there's no reason to have a stop anywhere else because we have so much trading range activity in here. This is a theoretical bottom off of this push down and then down here. And then honestly, we even have this kind of situation. 1 push, 2 push, 3 push down. So another wedge type of situation kind of thing. So if bulls are thinking, let's play this, I think especially after this candle fails, they're probably not looking to do it anymore. But certainly your stop has to be down here because the only other place, like where else are you really going to have it? Maybe if you traded this breakout, you might have your stop kind of like underneath this or underneath like this last higher low, I guess you could say. Somewhat realistic that if you entered here and you're still holding, that you have kind of like a break-even stop wherever you entered, which might have been above this line here, or anywhere that you maybe even above here, such that you might already be stopped out. So probably not too many longs from this region that are still in the trade and having stops in this area. Like obviously, if you got in here, you might have a stop much lower down here or like underneath this bar or something like that. So I think in this region where it's kind of no man's land for bulls, there's no reason to have stops anywhere other than right around here. And because this is a trading range, you're probably not going to put your stop immediately underneath this because how easy is it for it to just get run and then to stay in the trading range kind of thing indefinitely. So probably you want to have a stop here, but you might have your stop a little bit lower. Maybe you just put the stop underneath here. Maybe that kind of makes a little more sense, or under here, so that you give yourself a little leeway to take a little push down and then still move up. But I wouldn't say that's a particularly good trade, particularly high probability trade. We really don't want to see this kind of activity, right, to continue. We really just wanted it to pump right here. And when it didn't, I don't think like me personally, as someone who's been kind of waiting and hoping for a bullish signal to kind of appear in here, I'm not really thinking that this is a bullish signal. Like even if this current bar went and traded above this level now, I'm not super eager about buying that. It would be like, I guess, here a low here and a higher low here, but yeah, this is just so much trading range activity that I'm really not eager to buy breakouts above this thing. I think I'd rather just wait to see what happens. And of course, like on the flip side, Bears had this pump here. Bears had this dump, sorry, here. Broke through this trend line, sideways activity. Tried to put in a Bulls tried to put in a new high here, got rejected. Bulls tried to put in a high here, got rejected, but it didn't really count. But Bulls really definitely tried to break this upward and put in a new high here and got rejected. So it's kind of like one attempt by Bulls, two attempt by Bulls, this kind of thing. Maybe we just go up from here. So yeah, I guess you can take a short underneath here. Pretty close stop, and you're probably targeting a little bit lower, maybe around this area. Yeah, 59.7 kind of thing. And that will really start to validate this whole, like, this is a fucking trading range situation. The one thing we have not checked is the 1 hour candle. We've already been going, this is probably the longest video today, and we haven't even touched on the 1 hour candle yet. But yeah, this 1 hour candle this is not pretty for bulls, right? Like you wanted to have a good follow through. Like we had this bounce here, really nice follow through candle here that broke above this one. Really nice follow through up here, but then it stalled, stagnated, and came back down here. And effectively, you can separate these into different moves. Like you had this move down here, then you had this move up here, honestly all the way up here, honestly all the way up here actually, and now you have this move that's pretty much down this way so far. So I don't know, Bears are kind of pretty clearly in control right now. Probably Bears are looking to short underneath this bar here. I don't, it's just ugly price action. It's just be careful type of range. And this kind of trading this 1 hour chart doesn't really make so much sense because your bars are pretty big. This bar is 1.5%. This bar is 2.5%. Obviously, this bar is like 5%, 6%, some like that. So your bars are pretty big and they're pretty chopping back and forth, like red bar, green bar, green bar. But if you break this down into half bars, it would be like a green bar and a red bar here. This could be a green bar, it could be a red bar, like who knows. So I think it's kind of better to play lower time frame stuff and just be a little bit more careful. This short, if you took this short, it's kind of starting to line up here. Obviously we didn't take it because I'm doing this charting instead of trading. And if it doesn't kind of race immediately through this level, there's a decent possibility that we're just doing like a double top and then come back into this range. Like we said, this is a trading range that we're in right here. And very reasonable for this trading range to be broken down here and then turn into this trading range. So you could be, selling at the bottom of a trading range. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm not so eager to enter this. Also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 10 bars here of sideways activity. I don't think is particularly bearish, even though they have been putting in lower high, kind of a double bottom or double top. Guess you could maybe call this a double top bear flag. From here to here. I don't know. I think based on just looking at this right now, I think my prediction for this next bar is to either be this type of inside bar that stays this way for the majority of the time, or to maybe dip down a little bit further, and then possibly try to make a reversal. It's somewhat possible that we just make a reversal bar here, and this ends up being a green bar up here, probably or in this area, closing around this area, 61.2, probably not all the way this high. I very much doubt that we close above this bar, above 61,462. I very much doubt that we do that on this candle. Yeah, I mean, see, this trading range is like, just be careful with the trading range, because that short, like, we were able to convince ourselves that we had a attempt by bulls to reject, attempt by bulls to reject again here, and like, here goes the short, and already, like, it's just not good. Even tinier trading range here. So just very, I would say be careful trading this right now. Maybe we wait for something a little bit more, something with a little bit more certainty, something a little better certified. Obviously now if this candle breaks this high, which just like, it's again looking like that bullish scenario of bounce here, put in a lower high, or higher low, sorry, and then go, and that's kind of what's happening right now. But how many times can you keep flip-flopping between I'm going to be a bull here and we're going to go, I'm going to be a bull here and we're going to go higher low up, versus I'm going to be a bear here and we're going to get more this way. You can't just keep flip-flopping. You have to have some sort of conviction here. And the fact of the matter is, when you're in this type of tight trading range, you just don't have the conviction. So stay out the market. I think that's the plan anyway for the next few candles. We'd like to see, like, here's the bear breakout again. It's still in this trading range, but you know, if we break this again, this is where all of the stops, the bull stops have to be. Bull stops have to be here, and if not, here. So once those get run, I don't think bulls are looking to buy again anytime soon. I don't think bulls are going to be like stopping out here and being like, yeah, let's take the buy on this 60,300 level. I don't think they're going to be too eager to be like, yeah, let's buy 60,000. I think we're just going to wait to see, because this leg was so strong. Oops, where's that thingy here? I think it should be in here, trend base fib extension. You know, this move, that if this ends up really being the top, a 1-to-1 would be all the way down here. And this is a $2,000 move. So I think we're going to be cautious. Yeah, I'll see you guys in another, I guess, not an hour and 40 minutes now.